Ta-da! Malice Diary here, and welcome to Cupid, a visual novel. I love you. 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 There's no need to explain. It's only natural. A mother loves her daughter more than anything else in the world. He hates you, doesn't he? The whole lot of them despise you, don't they? Chasing you into the forest and gouging a hole into your leg. All because you smiled at their husbands. And you know what? You deserve it. You freak. You disgusting, horrible, filthy little girl. Didn't I tell you to stay away from them? You never listen. Serves you right for being the little slut you are. But you don't have to worry, my darling. That's all right. Even if the whole world wishes you dead, I promise you this. Your mother will always be by your side. My goodness, child, whatever has happened to you? A girl was slumped in a doorway, soaked by the rain. Her legs were covered in dirt and blood. She lifted her head upon hearing the priest's voice and stared at him with blank eyes. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. She hobbled forward, her bloodied leg giving away. Automatically, the priest rushed forward to steady her. Years of spiritual training had prepared him for the most unexpected guest to his church. He sprung into action. He ushered her to a pew, brought out some clean cloth and antiseptic, and began to bandage the wound on her leg. Yet, throughout all this, he found that he couldn't take his eyes off her. He would be gazing at the roll of bandages in his hand and deciding how to tie them. And then, out of nowhere, he would be staring into her eyes. Even with all the mud and grime smeared across her face, he couldn't deny that she was absolutely beautiful. How old was she? 20? 18? 16? You're making sure she's not jailbait, right? Oh, but then again, this seems like it's in old times, so jailbait doesn't matter. Her face was so young. The priest had long since aged past his desire for the opposite sex. But somehow, something about her enraptured him. When he realized his own thoughts, he quickly steered his mind toward other matters. My child, what happened to you? She seemed to take all the time in the world before responding. He looked at me. Looked? He looked at me, and he touched me. And then he started to kiss me. At first, the priest didn't understand. Then he realized, with a jolt of anger, what she meant. It was happening more and more often nowadays. The young men of France these days were spirited, uncontrollable ruffians. A lady walking home by herself one night would be prey to a few number of them. Lust. One of the 7 deadly sins, the one that the priest personally despised the most. Furrowing his brow in sorrow, the priest laid a hand on her thigh. You are safe now, child. God's house is a sanctuary for the faithful. I don't think he'll protect me. He looked at her in confusion. You see, Father, I have sinned again. Right there among the pews, before the altar of God, she bowed her head. "I'm sorry." Was she apologizing to him or to someone else? Her hair hid her face and her eyes, and the priest could make neither head nor tail of her. He suddenly realized that his hand was still on her thigh, and he hurriedly drew it away. "I'm sorry." She repeated this phrase over and over. After a while, the priest got up. "Don't fret, child. You were not to blame. I will contact the local constable, but in the meantime, you're free to make yourself at home here. I will fetch you a hot drink." He patted her hand and left to go to the back room. She remained seated on the pew, her head bent forward. As the priest's footsteps faded away, the entire church fell into silence. Now that it was the dead of night, the clouds covered the sky. Barely a sliver of moonlight filtered through the stained glass. The girl sat alone in a ring of darkness. She opened her mouth. "No, I know. If I may say my piece, surely..." Yes, mother. But he is so very kind." "Haven't you learned your lesson, idiot, or I fear for your safety." "Oh, so I'm playing as the mother. That's odd. Maybe I'm a ghost. I'm not going to be mean. I fear for your safety, child. Daughter of mine, you slut. Child, follow mother's words and leave. You saw the look in his eyes, didn't you? You cannot stay here. Even a man of God can stain you with the filthiest colors. Be a good girl and follow mother's words." "But..." "Follow my words, child, or I will slap you." "It's cold outside, mother. The rain has not let up. Can't I stay?" "Mother's intuition." No, I'm not letting you stay. He does seem like a kind man though, but maybe he's gonna get a hot drink and roofie me or something. No. You leave now and that's final. I will not hear another argument." "I'm sorry. Please, don't be angry, mother. I understand. I shall leave at once. How am I going to mind you like this? You attract so much misfortune everywhere you go." "My poor child, I don't blame you. Maybe God's just fucking with you. He tends to do that, you know. My poor child." "Oh, no! Don't call her stupid now. My stupid little girl. Always a blight, aren't you? Whatever will you do without me?" "I'm sorry, mother. Thank you for always guiding me. It is all my fault." The girl sat in silence. Mother was right, after all. She was always right. Everything was her fault. Her fists shook with a mixture of fear and conviction. She had to do penance. "Mother, give me strength. There is something I wish to do." The girl rose from the pew. In front of her was the altar, and on top of the altar was an ornately decorated cross. It was as wide as her head, and the tip of the cross had been crafted such that it was razor sharp. "Please don't kill yourself now." She left the pew, knelt briefly, and then walked over to the altar. Don't tell me. You're quite sure you're doing this? The girl's arm trembled ever so slightly. What other way is there for me to atone? She picked up the cross. Oh, my darling daughter. Mother is proud of you. Slowly, she brought the sharp end close to her face. Oh, I see. Each time misfortune happens, she scars her face and hopes her beauty fades and doesn't attract people. So, oh no! Near her eye? That's horrible. So close that it hovered just above her left eye. And then she... The star and the rose.